Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to LCK 2019 Summer. We have gone the distance, and we are very close to Gen G keeping their playoffs hopes alive. You may have been a little bit confused when I told you we have a minimum of 6 games tonight, potentially, because if Gen G win, then they will force a tiebreaker after the Griffin Hanwha Live series with a Freak of Freaks. Both of them will be on exactly the same scoreline, and don't show me that. Don't show me that. They will be on the same scoreline, and therefore we'll need to battle it out to decide who is going to be taking that 5th and final spot in the playoffs. That's how incredibly close things are here in the LCK. So, possibly 7 games the dream. We'll be getting maximum value from the final day of the regular season.
Alice.
The Summer Split of 2019.
Not one gaming win this.
Do they?
Yeah.
All right, well, how do they win this is the real
Well, I'm
question.
not going to leak that much.
But what changes do they need to make in this draft in order to win this? Is it don't build full physical damage and dashy champions against Poppy?
Well,
That's a lot of ruler bands.
can Canyon find his R key
Well,
when necessary,
can
as
Canyon
well as
find
his
his-
mini-map? That would be...
Yeah,
Perhaps that had something to do with it.
I think pressing buttons in the right order and
Right.
being at the right places on the map is sort of irrespective of which champion you play, which is the real worry to me for Canyon. Canyon is actually a coin flip today.
He really has been, actually.
Mm-hmm.
They need to just call him DWG Coin Flip.
Mm-hmm.
This has been how things have been going. Nuguri does not look very amused here, as Silas is going to be locked in first. Now, Kiana has made it through once again,
Yeah.
and Roach has been spamming her in solo queue, as you already have told the chat.
Yep, 18-2 is the scoreline. LS not impressed because of those 2 losses. I was impressed because he managed to have a 2.2 KDA or something like that whilst averaging 9 kills a game. Which means he dies a lot. That's what that means. Aatrox going to be locked in here from Gen G once again. They've been prioritizing this pick a lot, and it's been getting a lot of work done. Feels like they lose themselves some early game team fights, find one in the late game, and then they win, is the theory. Peanut is going to counterpick himself in the jungle. Nice.
All right, well, he really does just like the Glacial Prison tonight.
Yep. He wants
So he
either
wants
his
to-
own or to steal it
right,
away. Mhm.
He wants to be able to keep casting that, so it's important
Or
for him.
maybe this is mind games because Canyon has been so terrible at landing that ultimate
Ooh.
that he wants to give him another one because he knows that he's not going to do so well landing it.
I like that. I like where you're going with this.
Yuumi available. Damwon could lock it in here as the Kai'Sa already picked up here for Nuclear. Running that one back yet again. But Beryl could go towards something like an Alistar instead if he wants to go back to Comfort. We could see Damwon sit on their solo laners for the moment. 9 seconds to go before we do get the full confirmation of that pickup. And I like this. I really like Beryl taking the metaphorical bull by the horns and the bull into the bottom lane.
Oh,
As
that was an
Kiana-
instant hover.
Yeah, 20 seconds to go. Roach, you can see. Not a lot of emotion here on this face. Just lock it in, dude. Just lock it in. Terror shape Gen G to a tiebreaker. That's what he's going to do.
No.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, no. Wow, we just went from fun to anti-fun. That was like, how do you get that far on the other side of the spectrum that quickly? We can't go faster than the speed of light, but that's exactly what Roach just did.
Not with that attitude, we can. Okay, but Tom Kench can. Abyssal Voyage.
Hey, that's true. There we go.
Never
That's
quite-
teleportation.
Never quite worked out the mathematics of that one. But
Yeah, I apologize.
yeah.
That's why I need you here to analyze these
Rumor
moments
has
for me.
it that the top hat that you see on Tom, it's because him and Einstein, they go way back.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Did Einstein wear a top hat? Because I sort of thought of him as
You
the
never
guy
saw
with
it on him, did he?
crazy bushy hair.
Because
Oh,
he gave it to Tom.
Damn.
Yeah.
And look at the sacrifices he made as well. He had such unkempt hair.
I know.
Whoa,
Oh, man.
that's huge. What a storyline.
Yeah. Glad I was here to tell you it.
Thanks. Wow,
All right.
I thought you were relatively young. Apparently you know a lot more than I thought. As
Quite a bit. Yeah.
We've got another 80 carry band to come in, but arrow wielders, there are a couple of them. As our ruler is going to hover.
Ooh, Quinn.
Okay. A consideration. Ruler's Vein is a fun one, but goes back to the boring choice. Love it. Love it. Pretty standard lane here for Gen G, showing that they do want to play topside League of Legends. Roach with a few options. I do love that Permafrost is going to be working relatively well if Qiyana is going to be in this game. Melee auto attackers, of course, lend themselves to being able to get work done, so don't mind it at all. Damwon are going to lock away the Karma. I don't know where it's going to be going just yet, as we might have a couple of flex picks to come in just to keep Gen G on their toes. 19 seconds till we learn for sure what's going to happen there. Don't really like it, because it's a Karma. But we're matching Anti-Fun with Anti-Fun. Karma on one side, Tahm Kench on the other.
I do like this. I really do.
I thought you might.
As Aurelia now being hovered, and she is locked in. So
Okay.
this is looking like it will be Karma top lane. Potentially. Oh, well,
Could be either.
if Cuvée is going to be playing the Aatrox, then I would imagine that we would actually have the Aurelia just match him. Will we see the Qiyana for Roach? Has made it all the way. I'm not familiar enough with her matchups, I'll be really honest with you.
Oh, no, it's going to be the Gnar. So Cuvée goes back to his old favorite on the top side of the map. And once again, Roach is going to be playing the mid lane Aatrox. Where are Damwon going to be putting all of their champions is the question. The thing I do like is that Karma works very well in this composition because Kai'Sa hyper carries very, very strongly. We've been seeing a lot of these Karma Ezreal comps, which I personally just don't think works very, very well. One of the signs in the audience said, "I like taxis. Just win, please. I can wait for the tiebreakers." And that means that we're not going to be taking a train home. That's the point, because
today
it's a
actually,
Sunday night.
Yeah, it ends quite a lot earlier than yesterday.
Yep.
Papa Smithy not as fortunate.
Yes.
Let's not talk about that though. As we're gonna talk about the team composition.
Let's do that. Let's do that.
Kai'Sa, Alistar, Karma, Sylas, and then at the very top there is the Aurelia. This team composition, it wants to skirmish, it wants to brawl, and it wants to keep hitting hard. In addition to that, it would like to roll Mountain Dragons.
It would also like to get some work done in the mid game as well. I mean, you see a Karma and you expect that a couple of items, being the Athenes and the Ardent Sensor, buff up your AD carry to a point where Nuclear is going to be much stronger in the mid game than he otherwise would be, and then utilize that in order to get yourself some leads. However, Gen G, over the other side, the Gnar Sejuani Aatrox and the Varus Tahm Kench, looking to be playing topside in the early stage of the game. The Tahm Kench Varus, a very self-sufficient lane. We'll see whether they can play through their duo solo queue partners in Roach and Cuvée to get us towards that tiebreaker. Guys, it all comes down to this. Can Gen G keep their playoff hopes alive? We'll find out now in Game 3. Good God. That is so much yelling from the Gen G fans. Desperate for as much Gen G as possible today. 4 Gen G games. And with the amount of Gen G fans here in LoL Park, that is crazy. I wonder whether you can buy tickets for the tiebreaker. Is that a possibility? Is that a thing? I don't know. Who's actually going to be there? Is it going to be like...
Is it just empty?
Is it Griffin Harmful Life fans that get to stay around for the tiebreaker? I don't quite understand how that works. Might have to have a chat and then get you guys updated.
Oh, yeah, that's actually...
possibly at the start of next series.
Oh, I'm curious what happened. Maybe it's an empty studio. That's only happened, I believe, once in Korean esports.
Yeah, I think it...
Where they asked the crowd to leave?
Yeah.
Or the crowd had to leave?
Something like that.
Happened in StarCraft, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Might have been over at the Afrika studio then. So we don't know in LoL Park. I mean, we only started here at LoL Park this year, so can guarantee that we haven't had to ask that question just yet. Showmaker, let's see what he can do in this matchup. We've seen him win reverse matchups against Karma a lot, but we haven't seen his Karma so far this season, I don't believe. As I'm going to double check just to make sure. Has played it once.
Right, they paused so that you can make sure.
Mode coming in. 100% win rate so far, as you can see on your screen right there. I'm having a look at my stats, and then they bring them up. That's of course, a likely story. We'll get word as to what's actually happened here. It looks like Nuclear once again. Maybe it's PC's just playing up a little bit, as might be that frame rate issue back again.
Does seem like it is Nuclear.
Might have to be switching it, doing a PC hot swap.
You know what the worst thing in the world to hear is?
What's that?
Is if your FPS is dropping, and then someone tells you, but the human eye can only see.
Oh my god, yep. Yeah.
Oh, no.
We can only see it like 50 frames per second.
You know the SpongeBob image?
Yep.
Where he's leaning over with the big nose and stuff?
I don't know. I can see the differences. That's a really cool J4, but shouldn't be a peanut. That should be life. Of course, guys, I know you guys were pretty excited about seeing the AP Jarvan. We'd already had a few doses of that last season. Spirit running around with the AP Jarvan did start that one off. Good to see that it came back. I trust our Autumn Gen.G will win everything from now on. Well, I mean, that is Gauntlet buff. That's what we were talking about. See if we can find it. Yep, right way up. Nailed it. There you go. Gen.G, see you in Madrid. Wow, expecting them to get pretty far into that knockout stage. LEC versus LCK in Worlds. Much love from Spain. Well, thank you for coming. It's a long journey from Spain to Seoul, so welcome. Hope you're having a good time. As that's an angry
That's
eagle.
an angry bird, I think,
Yeah.
on the left-hand side.
Nuguri's younger brother in the back. Wow,
In
that's
the
cool.
back is nice.
Adorable. Well, now we have to turn our signs the other way. We're going to check out that Gnar once again, and that's because there's a Gnar now in this game.
There's a Gnar in the game.
Thank you. Well, I mean, I guess it was predicted.
really
have you been
wish-
showing people the script again? Oh my
He hates
goodness.
math, and I hate your questions. This guy's actually right to the left of us. I actually saw him coming up the steps, and I just thought to myself that his shirt said I hate math, and then I imagine like 100, 200 years from now where science is even more important than it is now, and mathematics is more important, that like that shirt would not be one.
No, it wouldn't be.
want
It
to
wouldn't be
wear,
that
you know?
cool.
It would be the opposite of what is good.
Nope. Plus, I mean, we're in the education capital of the world, and therefore hating math is not necessarily the thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not the cool thing to do.
I basically say that purely because of Civilization, and Korea's power in Civilization is all about science. So you would imagine that that has some relevance in truth.
Have you ever wondered, like, who the champions hire for their photography when they take these stills? Like, what was Atrox thinking when he just hired a photographer?
I don't know, probably thinking about Pantheon, being a bit angry about it.
I'd
That's
be
what I
angry about it
assume.
too. Have you played him?
No. Do you know what I did?
Yeah.
I watched my good
Don't.
friend Nick's stream, and I learned what I should be doing
Don't
with
touch
with
that champion
Pantheon.
if you value your LP.
Well, do you know what I do? I play TFT instead. Canyon's going to move on over. He's found Peanut, and the flash immediately has to be used. Canyon flashing after him. The blast cone going to be utilized. As Peanut, I did not know that you could get Aftershock to proc off a blast cone. I just learned that today. That's cute.
Well,
Did you know that?
yeah, I did.
Ah,
Yeah,
well, that's good. Coach, by the way.
coach, by the way.
Well, Canyon started off much better this game. Very early. I believe Coach Kim was just like, Canyon, you're playing poorly. Please, play well. And Canyon said, oh, okay.
Well, they know that he's up here, I believe. He was not that sneaky.
Well, Peanut definitely knows, and now there's a ward. So Cuvee in his Mega Gnar form is going to come on over. Spots that the Silas is there.
Want a Mega Gnar plushie.
You can get one, can't you? Isn't it at the...
It's not at the wall store, no.
Oh, you got to have a chat to our guy.
Trust me, I know.
And you also have to talk to him about Pengu as well, as per usual.
Yeah, Pengu God Eternal.
Yep. As Roach is frustrated, or Showmaker, is he going to do it? Is he going to sit on the sacks of gold to just show them how much money he's making? I think that is.
That's what I wait for every time.
Man. Yeah, I want it. I want it so
With
bad.
Tom.
Maybe he wants to keep it as a secret. As
Oh.
Peanut has an opportunity here. Roach is going to dash in, lands the Infernal Chains. Fair bit of damage there as the Winter's Wrath is flashed by Showmaker. Peanut says that's enough. That's what I'll get. And Showmaker wants to just make as much money off this Russian bear as possible.
Missed the Mantra Q. But so far in this game, Damwon, they're already up almost 1,000 gold. Canyon, he's also level 4.5.
And he's also triple buffed Peanut, and he's going to double scuttle
Yeah.
him as well, the score special.
He
As,
triple buffed him and took his golems.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Peanut is very far behind.
Peanut not feeling that happy.
We have
He's
to
still
remember
level
that
3.
Peanut did this to himself. He picked the Sejuani into the Silas. And now Canyon knows exactly where Peanut has to be. As there's the Devour from Life, but now it's on cooldown. Beryl gonna flash to get into the wall, and in goes the Silas, but it's a 1-for-1 trade.
Peanut
First
doesn't
blood,
have
in fact,
flash.
going over to Gen G. Nuclear going to be able to grab that kill as Canyon. Kingslayer does a hell of a lot of work.
Oh!
The abscond doesn't work, but my god, Canyon survives for so damn long. A double kill now. Is there a teleports everywhere? Ruler! What the hell
What is he
was
doing?
that? He misses the piercing arrow, and oh man, our 7-game dreams are falling apart in the bottom lane.
And I need you to take over there, Alice. Trying to collect
I
myself.
was taking over. I was the one just talking.
Yeah, keep going.
All right. Roach is in the mid lane farming minions. His teleport was on cooldown. Need me to do more?
Yeah, I got it from here.
Okay, Showmaker is looking for Peanut. Mantrid Q whiffs entirely. Not able to steal away those wolves. Just slightly overestimating the range on that particular ability.
It's a 2,000 gold lead right now in Damwon's favor. Showmaker is a little bit behind in mid lane in terms of XP, but
Ahead by about 300 in gold based on
yeah,
Klepto.
Pretty nice. Let's take a look at this replay too. Peanut, he comes down here.
Oh, Pole Flash
Canyon
was
here as
sick from
well.
Beryl.
Pole Flash, Ruler goes down, Death Timer, 12 seconds. Peanut doesn't have Flash. And then right here, Life, it looked like he was just going to be able to kill him. He flashes, didn't quite have the damage, and then Canyon, with the Magic Resist shield, everything ends up panning out okay. Ruler TP's in. Showmaker, realistically, is all that's going to be necessary there.
Man,
But
the Kingslayer value there from Canyon was just gigantic, as Coach Kim was laughing so much at that situation.
oh man.
Adorable.
Oh, I think they're just going to dive. Yeah, they're going to dive with Karma.
No flashes available, no heal, no teleport, no nothing.
Can
There's
steal
the
the
chain
Fire
lash,
Assault.
and yeah, you've got a control wall, but who cares? The Devour very early. They're looking for life, but the Aftershock getting work done. Silas is going to be able to take down the Varus very comfortably, and I believe teleport was interrupted top side of the map. As yeah, Nogari flashed for it, made sure that Flawless Duet was there to stop any Nas from coming down.
I feel like this game is over, Atlas. We're only 8 minutes. I don't think I've ever... Oh, don't give me that face.
I'm not giving you that face, man. I'm giving Gen G that face. Gen G let us believe that they could be taking us to the
No.
7th game.
Right here.
And then I think that, I
On
don't
the
know,
script.
maybe Afrika like sent them a message saying, "Oh yeah, but we're not at Lol Park, man. Sorry, like
We're at Everland
we can't
right
make
now.
it. Yeah, we're having some samgyeopsal. It's early dinner time. I'm sorry."
Well, we come in here, Canyon able to use the Silas ult, steals away Ruler's ultimate, and then at that point, it's all too easy to hold everything together. Cube, he's trying to TP down. He had his transform, but 2 blades in the ground,
Yeah.
able to stop that spell cast.
Invest the flash, does Nogari, but that's worth it. Guarantees that tower and a whole bunch of the plates, are going to be donated over to Damwon. As I've seen this movie before.
Have you? What happens?
Well, you could have a look on your piece of paper in front of you, but it ain't great for Life and Ruler.
Looks fine.
It's okay now. They're looking at Cloud Drake.
I think that you lied to me.
High value.
I think it was a different movie. Probably looks similar.
Well, yeah, the beginning was
Oh,
definitely
okay.
similar, but there was a twist at the end of this time.
Yeah,
around.
that
M.
makes
Night
sense.
Shyamalan movie, I believe.
Yeah, definitely. I get it.
Yeah.
It misled you.
Well, Beryl looking for that headbutt pole once again. No flash available. Has Hex Flash, of course, but Gen G probably not wanting to invest overly too much on this Cloud Drake, as you can see, top side of the map, the Aurelia getting a whole lot of value. That Voidseeker was very close to grabbing that kill.
So the thing here is that they come down, they're on the back foot, they're on the defensive. They bring down Cuvee to help dissuade Damwon from trying to do anything about this Clown Drake. They get it, and then it comes at the cost of several minion waves and turret plates. Ends up being a net loss overall, especially because their team comp can't use Cloud Drake.
Well, Noguri wishes he had a Cloud Drake. He's walking so slowly away from that turret. Cloud Drake did eventually get taken, of course, by Gen G, just based on the fact that they invested Cuvee's time. Not sure whether it's necessarily worth it here as Showmaker makes his way back to the mid lane. A bit sad that he's on the Karma.
Are you?
Yeah, because he's our flashy player, and Karma not a flashy champion.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Your opinion is very nice.
Oh, thanks. Is it valid?
Yes.
Aw.
I just wanted to let you know that.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm here for you anytime.
Showmaker getting knocked up by Roach. Doesn't get hit by the second one. Inspire pretty strong, getting that extra movement speed. But there's a Kai'Sa now on Damwon's composition that has 303. And the advantage here for Damwon is twofold. It's the fact that the kills are all on Nuclear. 100% kill contribution now, 3-0 and 3. And also, their composition in the mid-game revolves around him. Now, Beryl has been caught out of position. He has got level 6. Headbutt gets Peanut over the wall, but he's dead. Ooh. Unbreakable Will not even used, because I think the Will was broken very early on in that particular bout, and just out of position. Does gain them the access to Shelly here on the top side, and perhaps actually worth it, as Canyon's going to be able to get turret plates with this as well.
And there's still 3 minutes left, so they're going to be able to convert this into several hundred gold. Cuvee doesn't have Mega. He can't try to interrupt this. Canyon probably going to chunk him even a little bit, as now Nuguri...
Yeah. What? There's a mini wave here, so Shelly's not charging as Cuvee's waiting. Meganar not in time. Nuguri grabs it, Vanguard's edge, and finally Shelly realizes she needs to put her skull into that top outer turret.
Yeah, they end up even getting more value than they anticipated. It's going to be first turret going... What are they doing?
They're just waiting for it to do damage
No,
to
but
Shelly.
what was Nuguri doing?
Wandering back to the brush.
Was he scoping out the landscape, seeing if maybe he wanted to move there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes you gotta inspect the house before you move in.
That
And,
that's actually a really important thing.
Yeah, I think so.
I got a story for you.
Oh yeah.
In 2013,
quite some time ago, yes.
my ex-partner at the time did not have the apartment inspected.
Okay.
I ended up getting a mold infection in my lungs. I almost died. True story.
Oh,
Yeah, I had atypical ABPA, allergic bronchopulmonary aspergillus.
isn't that like, is that the one that was really, really hard to diagnose?
Yeah, that was the one Korean doctors spent 4 months trying to diagnose me.
Yeah, and you had to go back to America,
I got flown back to America. They thought it was tuberculosis.
Wow.
And I was in isolation at the hospital. Well,
Yikes.
anyways.
That sounds like a bad time. But
It was
also,
a bad
this
time.
looks like a bad time for a player called Cuvee, who was very close to receiving a Mega Gnar and did not find him.
Well, he ended up going down there. He was not that happy about that in top lane, as I'm thinking that Gen G is not that happy with the current game state, although they did get a flash.
They did. I would have thought that Damwon may have actually gone into some sort of engage, but I believe they noticed that Cuvee had made his way towards the mid lane, and Noguri, of course, not wanting to teleport to help his team. He's not about that life. Does almost have the Trinity Force complete on the Aurelia, and it's starting to feel like the Rise game from Noguri. He is 2-0-0, already with a 200 gold bounty. He is very, very strong. Nuclear this time with a Storm Razor, going for a more AD variety of build, and does work better with the Ardent Sensor that Showmaker is going to build.
Do you know what the two colors mean?
Yeah, it means the gold that they're holding onto versus the total gold that they have. It's actually really, really cool. Yeah.
Ooh,
Shows how much effective gold these players have.
I really like that. That's a very nice stat.
It is. Because sometimes the gold at the top is misleading based on how many items you've actually bought.
Right.
Yeah. Canyon gets himself the Inspire Shield. Beryl does a bit of a drive-by as Gen G have 4 members on the bottom side. QV with teleport available and Nuclear with solo local gold for that turret going down. Got some crappy Drakes today. As the open Drake going to be coming up as the second one. Gen G getting the first Cloud. Feels like the Dragons this game are more like cleaning up. What? Oh, Canyon, of course, hijacked and I believe was running out. Okay.
And so at this point in the game, it's almost a 6,000 gold lead at 14 and a half minutes for Damwon.
It's really large.
It's quite a large advantage. Now, what they're probably waiting on is Aurelia to complete the Trinity Force. They're waiting for Kai'Sa to complete her second core item. And then they'll start looking to skirmish. Unfortunately for them, without the aid of any Mountain Drakes, they're not going to be able to just do a super fast Baron as soon as it becomes available. And now without any real neutral objectives, this is the part of the game I like to talk about.
Oh. Are we going to do it again and then
Well,
someone's just going to rush a
here's
Baron?
what's going to happen, okay? We're gonna play ping pong now with the side lanes.
Okay.
All right? We call this the lull state here.
Ah, is that what we call it?
So
Okay.
Gnar has absolutely no obligation to quickly push the top lane back, but he's going to do so anyway. Because why not?
Hey, that's what he just did.
That's what he just did.
Okay, now the lane
Now-
state is the minions are in unsafe territory and
Right.
he can't farm.
You'll also notice that Ruler and Life can wave clear the mid-minion waves pretty quickly. So,
Line wave clear of Varus, yeah,
Right.
it's a pretty famous thing. Okay.
now, Nuggery's going to go up to top lane, and you see the wave, how it's coming in. He could,
Oh, yeah.
He could do this really weird thing where he could freeze it.
And that prevents QV from getting any money and experience, right? If he did that?
Crazy. I know. It's
You know, I recently watched a video about this.
It's really crazy. And then Silas can come up
Oh,
and
but-
maybe kill him.
And that's what he's done. That's what they're looking for here. Not a lot of Mega Gnar bar as he steals it away. So many R buttons used. Damwon Gaming come out ahead. Chains of Corruption land in the mid lane though as Nuclear is going to Cleanse Splash to get out of the chains. A lot of chains this game. As Nuggery is going to take himself another turret. The Aurelia is a big deal.
The Aurelia is a super massive deal because at this point, QV, he was walking up to meet the minion wave, even though it was guaranteed to come into him. And because of that, didn't have any vision below him. The Gnar comes up, gets caught by the Silas, dies, and now Roach.
He's going to get snared. Teleport is coming in here from Nuggery. Flash has to be used, not an Umbral Dash available. And they're going to take Teleport for Flash trade. Probably worth it on Damwon's side as Nuggery doesn't like using his Teleport to get to team fights anyway.
At this point now, Damwon Gaming, they're going to slow everything down once again. This is the kind of game where freezing... Now, QV, you look at this. Why does he have to meet the minion wave this far up? He could have stayed underneath his turret, would have been a lot safer, even if the turret would die. I mean, it's on its last leg anyway.
Yeah. I just love that Canyon woke up for game number 3. This is exactly what we were talking about. Canyon is such a coin flip of a player. This performance has been
He's gonna get the MVP here.
And
Okay.
get himself to 1,000 points.
Exactly.
Largely confirming that he will be the lone MVP
Hold
leader.
on, I'm just checking if Chovy's around to take it.
No, he's at
No,
600.
he's at- no, he can't.
Not a chance.
Not this time.
Well, if he did it this time, then I'm going to have words with Jonas Strong about that one. Now, having a look down the line, it's Viper with the opportunity to get to 900. So he's the only other player yet to play that is on 700 points, and therefore 2 games available for Griffin to play so he can make it to 900. If Canyon gets to 1,000 points, he is uncatch-upable, which is not a word, but I assume you guys understand what it means.
Okay.
Okay, we're looking
So
for
we're-
Athene's Unholy Grail for
we're having ping pongs
Showmaker.
going
And the
on
ping
right
pong, like you say, is continuing the lull state in full effect.
There's no neutral. Neither team can actually push mid-tier 1 turret. Neither team can actually dive if 3 party members are there.
If there was such thing as a lull estate, what kind of
Ooh.
architecture would it use?
Oh, I like that question. I'm not sure. Have you ever wanted to... Do you know the StarCraft maps that look like beaches? Do you know Belshare Beach?
I've definitely seen it, yeah. There's
You've
Feral
seen it?
looking. Okay, we're
Oh.
going to trade Chains of Corruption, but it's better when it's hijacked by the looks. as the headbutt pulp doesn't really do too much. Life nailing the Devour pretty well, but the teams are going to agree that this is not the fight either of them wanted. Piercing Arrow comes down, and the minion wave's in great positions. For Damwon Gaming, this should mean that, you guessed it, another Ocean Drake should be easily going over to Damwon Gaming. Now moving into the mid lane to try and take down this outer turret. A much better option for them as the Voidseeker finds Ruler. Cuvee making his way over. Navar in a great position. Peanut is there. Headbutt pulve onto Cuvee, who doesn't land the wallop. Damwon are going to move on back, and I was a little bit early on my prediction of the Ocean Drake being taken down, but finally they get on over there and start smacking it around. Rageblade is done for Nuclear, so they make short work of the Dragon and then move back. Ruler teleports back into the mid lane. He's got a Rageblade of his own. A bit of damage potential from both of these AD carries if a fight is going to be extended. Canyon, he's got the Gnar ultimate.
They've
Of course, cold Gnar, which
almost
is confusing.
after, well, what was the game timer? It was 1440, right, when we first said the LoL state would begin. So here we are at 2022. Mid-tier 1 has almost gone down. You know? You ever try, like, kicking out a door and it's slowly...
Yeah, slowly
budges?
but surely
Yeah.
budging. Yeah, Showmaker, speaking of slowly but surely, getting out of the chains. As Roach, I believe, pressed his R button and got 0 value for it.
Anyway, what I was trying to get at before about
Uh-huh.
Belshire Beach,
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
that would be an awesome map skin for Summoner Shroud.
Hey, it would.
The water would look so pretty.
It would.
Sand everywhere. Why isn't there a pool party theme?
Pool party map skin? Maybe that is the next step. Maybe that's
are
the
we gonna
next
get?
step.
Are we gonna get a harrowing?
I hope so. I really like the
hope
Harrowing
so.
map.
You know, I actually Halloween skins tend to be my favorite
Mine too.
in League of Legends. Yeah, I like all of them.
What's your favorite Halloween skin?
Ooh. You know, aesthetically or thematic, aesthetically and thematically, I would have to probably go with the pumpkin Hecarim.
Oh, that's a pretty good one.
I think that one.
The
has to-
Fiddlesticks also
The
fantastic.
Fiddlesticks is very good.
Yeah.
Bewitching Nidalee is nice.
Yep, I had to get that when it got re-released like 2 years later, and I always regretted not buying it first off.
Oh,
That being
man.
said, my favorite is definitely not Blitzcrank.
That's a harrowing?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Oh man, you know
it was,
your stuff.
It was one of the originals.
Yeah, you definitely know your stuff, buddy.
Don't
Wow.
worry, I've been purchasing skins for a very long time.
Oh, you know the site that tells you how much you've spent on League of Legends?
I didn't need to do that.
You didn't?
I actually went to, when I first joined Riot,
Yeah.
when I went to LA to go to the headquarters.
You got everything unlocked?
I know I spoke to them about how much I'd spent on my account.
Oh.
And the number is a number I do not want to talk about. It
I actually
took
found
me a
out-
while to break even, as Nuclear is going to throw down the cleanse, gets him out of the glacial prison. But at least Peanut nailed that ability, and also he's going to get the cleanse. Which means that Gen G will have a few more options when it comes to team fights coming up. The lull state is almost dictated by the health bars of the turrets. It's sort of how it works.
Well, even if you break the mid-tier 1, there's nothing to stop the team from doing it at the mid-tier 2.
That's a good point. Oh no.
You know?
I thought that
We're,
things were going to get better.
I had a video recently that covers this exact state of the
Oh, and
game.
options that you have.
Yeah.
As Cuvee, he's got Mega Gnar, but is going to go mini once again. An opportunity for Damwon to find a team fight without that Mega Gnar's CC abilities. Having an R button is generally good in a team fight scenario, so Gen G probably wanting to time their attacks relatively well. This is what this team is very, very good at, though. Playing around Cuvee's Gnar and team fight timings. But that means that right now they need to play defensively, and Damwon do not want to let that happen. We've got Killer Instinct available. Peanut's coming over to get a camp as Canyon dives forward. Tower is going to go down. Chains of Corruption lock up a couple of members. A lot of damage onto Ruler. There's AP on this Silas, remember, so it does do some work as in we go. There's the Killer Instinct as Roach gets devoured. I believe he's been ignited as well. Fair bit of damage from the Chain Lashes.
Oh.
Showmaker picks up the kill in the end. I believe that was a Luden's Echo proc that managed to get it. Damage calculation there, fantastic as Gen G are getting routed. This is such a slow team fight, but it's
Peanut
working
almost
so
has
well
ult,
for
but doesn't
Damwon.
matter.
Showmaker, so much damage. Mantra Q Going to be great there as the Kingslayer. Oh my god, Canyon over the wall. The Nayu's defensively. And he's able to tank up this turret, and Damwon are going to move over possibly towards a Baron.
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty free Baron at that as well, because they have double Open Dragon. So their HP, it's going to go up ever so slightly. Not that they would have needed it. Most of their members are completely full. They took the Blast Cone. Beryl stays on the other side so that he can knock the Sejuani away.
Yep, he's going to do so. Gets the mini stun. There's the pulverize. Baron is dead, and now they might have themselves another team fight that they could win, but Beryl, no, he's going to be the sacrificial cow. And the rest of Damwon's just going to get out with a Baron buff, do a reset, buy all of the items that they obviously have the money for, and look to push and win this game. Really nice play from Damwon. They took their time getting there, but the execution in the last team fight was very clean.
Yeah. And thus, because of this now, Gen.G, they're trying to attack Baron indirectly by removing all the minions from the map, so there's no minions to buff. They take another Elemental Dragon. The next one that's going to come up,
That's a Gen.G Drake. The next one, the agreement is Oceans go to Damwon, Windy ones go to Gen.G.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it windy because they're getting blown out of playoff contention?
Well, that is certainly looking to be the case. Maybe too soon there, LS. That was cruel. I felt that. I felt the pain of that one as Life spits Roach over the Vanguard's edge, and then Showmaker finds it with a cheeky little Luden's Echo proc. Not sure how the Luden's Echo went off, because I think the Q came afterwards. As that was a lot of poke damage on Tarula, who just exited the fight.
나이스! 야, 카르마를
가볼게.
카르마를 조이처럼
야, 바론 갈래, 바론? 빼봐.
Karma like Zoe is what he said. I don't know, man. Oh, I believe it's because he's done some weird stuff with Luden's Echoes on the Zoe as well. I've seen this before. Another siege at a turret in the mid lane. Damwon not quite able to break through just yet. 2 minutes left on this Baron buff. Bottom side of the map, though, Noguri is on the Aurelia, just hard smashing these minion waves towards this turret. Ain't nothing about freezing happening in this lane.
Well, I mean, at this point,
This is when you want to be pushing.
let's just push with the Baron minions.
Yeah, seems like a good
The
idea.
game is probably going to end here.
Oh, Nuclear. Supercharger's strong ability. There's Canyon dashes over the wall. Chain Lash goes back, doesn't land onto Roach there, but Nuclear dodging out of the way of that Chain of Corruption means that Gen.G have lost yet another tool to defend these turrets. Damwon move over. They're going to be playing some defensive League of Legends when it comes to this push idea. Get minion waves prepared, and then try and rotate over to make man advantages for themselves. Inhibitor turret now under fire. Looks like they're going to commit, and they will take that one down. 4 chains for Canyon. The Corruption variety going to go wide in the backside of that team fight. Cuvée has Mega Gnar for another few seconds, but he can't quite get in there. And he transforms back. Noguri looking for his opportunity. All of Roach's buttons go wide, and that could be this inhibitor being taken down. The war of attrition here from Damwon is impressive. They're not leaving themselves open for any sort of counterattack, and they're getting the poke damage in at the same time. Gen.G just stretched too thin.
And now at this point, it's just going to be a waiting game. When is the final fight going to come in? They're definitely going to raise this bottom tier 2. Baron still persisting for another 15 seconds, so this wave should be able to get escorted up, but seems like they want to back up. They're probably all pooling a lot of gold currently.
Yep, fair bit of money there available. Showmaker does have the 2 items that he really wants to be, the supportive Karma that he wants to be. Nuclear going to be well and truly buffed as he goes back, buys himself a big stick, and Nuclear gets himself a big sword. Hurricane already done as well, so 3.5 items. This Kai'Sa is very strong, as is Noguri. Got himself a BF sword, building towards his Guardian Angel. And has sort of given up on the Ravenous Hydra at this point in the game, wants to get more utility options instead. I respect it. Has all of the AoE wave clear that he wants, and knows that he just wants to be able to survive in team fights more effectively. 1.5 minutes on the next Drake, and a couple of minutes on Baron. As Damwon just wanting to deny as much from Gen.G and get their vision set up in order to cleanly take the next Baron and potentially win the game. Roach once again missing a few skill shots. This Canyon dancing away on this Silas. Void Seeker finds Peanut. He's relatively tanky right now. Gargoyle's Stone Plate done. Having a look top side of the map, Cuvée does have the Frozen Mallet completed. So he could at least be frustrating in this 1v1 against Noguri. It's a great item against melee champions, but the Blade Surge going to help Noguri here in this matchup. Aurelia has historically been a fantastic pickup into the Gnar, was the hard counter in the previous iteration of Aurelia, but I don't quite know how it works based on the complete change and rework that Akali went through. Okay, Roach taking way too much damage there. Void Seeker doesn't do a whole lot given the build.
They might just be wanting to wait for the next Baron. It's only 50 seconds away. And so if Damwon want to play it as safe as humanly possible, that would be the route. But if Gen G does misstep for any reason, Damwon obviously has the ability to pounce, and maybe this is just going to be it. Canyon might go in here.
Yeah, possibility of a 4-man Gnar from the hijacked version that Canyon does have. He's cheating. You don't have to transform to use Gnar's ultimate if you're Silas.
That's ridiculous.
The absolute dream.
Can you imagine the absolute power on that guy to be able to curl people?
I know.
Like Gnar?
He
Ridiculous.
doesn't look that large either.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah. Some of these things just don't feel like they would work in real life. As Damwon, they are so fluid in the way they back off and move back in again. The Baron up right now, red buff available as well, and Damwon this time are going to set up the gang crush.
Oh, they got
in
it.
he goes. Yep, we haven't found the Gnar just yet as Beryl gets in amongst it. The 2-man Gnar is nuclear. Dives into the backline. He doesn't even care about killing life. He wants to kill the rest of them, but the Gnar is there on the side of Gen G as well. Cuvé's one, just not going to be as effective. And Damwon, they don't need no Baron. They're going to win the damn game.
And that's going to be it for the playoff hopes of Gen G as Damwon, they're going to win this game here at 31 minutes. They start raising the Nexus turrets. That's all she wrote, Atlas.
It is, and that is going to mean that Gen G are out of playoff contention. Congratulations, Afreeca. You will be our 5th team that are going to be heading towards those playoffs, unless Damwon kill everyone, and we're not going to be able to take down the Nexus. Thankfully, the minions have a head on their shoulders, and they're going to be able to finish this one off. They are the ones that deserve that last 50 gold. And unfortunately, guys, we are not going towards a...
Yeah, if you just
a
read,
7-game evening.
read the script that I tried to show you.
I want to be actually surprised in the moment, LS. We've had this conversation many times.
And you know, right at the end when I said that's all she wrote, it's literally all she wrote.
Oh.
G-Sun's handwriting stopped there.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, so we don't know anything about the Hanwha Life Griffin series?
We have nothing.
Oh, wow.
We're disconnected from
Okay,
the
well,
command center.
I guess KT might have to be scared. You know, Hanwha could be doing something crazy in our next series. It's going to be coming up in not too long, guys, as this was 3 games. Bit of a brawl fest there, but Damwon Gaming getting themselves over the line in the end. Congratulations to them, evening out their scoreline with Gen G over the season. Able to get some revenge of their very early loss against Gen G in the summer split. Roach, though, coming in and actually impressing us in game number 2. As he did sub in, but he subbed in top lane.
We have to wonder
in the season.
what is going on, though, when they have 3 mid laners
And 4 people playing mid lane.
and then 4 people playing mid.
yeah.
Something on a fundamental level has to be occurring. Because Gen G, they were floundering early on, and then somehow they flipped a switch and everyone started preaching about the autumn buff.
Yep.
But then here we find they didn't quite make it.
And also, it's
in the
Fly
end.
coming in for like 1 game and then always being subbed out, whether it's Rich or Roach. It's still Fly not really having the fortitude to stick around after
And
a
where's
loss, which I
Kuzan?
think is a problem. And yeah, Kuzan sort of having a bit of a nap at the moment. Not entirely sure, some question marks. We will likely... Alright, we'll have to see whether Gen G can solve everything. It's not over yet for tonight's matches. It is over for Gen G's playoff hopes. Congratulations to Afreeca for that one. You don't need to play a game very, very late in the night. And Griffin still now wanting to secure that first place. Now Damwon have themselves in a situation where first could be owned by them. In theory, having a look at the points, Damwon have now moved up 1 extra point, and Griffin. Sorry, just trying to figure it out. They can both be on 13 victories. Damwon currently at 13-5, and Griffin, after their Hanwha victory, their game score will be much higher than that of Damwon. So if Griffin can win in any way, they are going to be in first place. However, if Hanwha are able to get the upset, not only do Hanwha Life avoid relegation by moving ahead of KT based on game score, but also they deny Griffin from that first place spot, meaning that they'll have to play an extra best of 5.
Right.
And also deny Griffin guaranteed worlds after tonight.
Oh, that's right. If Griffin win tonight, they get guaranteed.
Yep, that is true. There is a lot on the line in our final game of the summer split.
And this is actually where it all went downhill.
It all went wrong from this moment.
This was, and then slightly after this, you see Ruler.
Do you know what I think
that
this means
TP
as well?
That was something.
I'm pretty sure it means that Canyon's going to get to 1,000 points and guarantee that he is going to be our summer split MVP.
Yeah. I do believe that that's $5,000. Right?
Yeah, it's a big one. It is a big one, and he's going to have it by himself as well.
Did you know that there's KDA awards?
What do you mean? What?
KDA. Yeah, it's 2,000 for each roll.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I was on Leaguepedia or something yesterday.
Huh. Well, Afrika was on their way to Lowell Park, but they turned their ship around.
Apparently, they turned around once they saw the end result.
No, once they saw the bottom lane fight. But pack it up, boys. We out of here. It was a Luden's Echo proc, and it was because of the Mantrid Q that Showmaker had put down before, the ground damage.
You like that?
The ground burn damage proc the Ludens and killed the Aatrox. That's
very impressive.
That's a tilter right there.
아니 나오는데 다운 거는 별로 이제 시간 없는데. 봐볼게요. 나쁘지 않아.
좀 포싱해도
It's not bad. It's not bad.
가는 중에
나온다.
Look at how
I'm
casual
going.
Canyon looks.
벙어 빠졌다.
뭔가 빠졌어.
들어가야 돼. 이래 들어가야
아,
돼.
들어가야 돼. 가볼게.
They're very early on the stopwatch.
다 떴어.
But
Showmaker actually whipping there.
Yep.
But didn't matter.
나이스.
Noguri bounces around the team fight, and Damwon walk away with a victory here. That was almost the 5-0 ace, but Life somehow survived. That was because they all ignored him, and look at all of the damage from the Sylas, almost able to do as much by 100 damage as the Kai'Sa, who was super fed from the very beginning of the game, being able to triple the damage of your opposition and then some is super
effort.
impressive.
The Aurelia, I mean, she was helping.
Yeah. I mean, the Aurelia did, if you looked at total damage done, she smacked on turrets and minions a hell of a lot this game, okay? So don't look at that thinking that she didn't get work done. Apparently they said Hanwha Life fighting
at the end of the Team Voice.
That is adorable. That is because if Hanwha Life win, then they are able to get the first place position because they'll be the only team on 13 victories. Griffin can still get there. Their game score is super high, and so they will take the first place with a victory in any way.
2-0.
For Hanwha, right?
For
As
Griffin.
here we go, 1,000 MVP points to Canyon. Congratulations. He is going to be our Summer Split MVP for this year. And it's a weird thing to think about because he's had so many awful performances. And that was in this series, right? He played Game 2 woefully. It was terrible. That being said, he can turn around and have games like this where he performs out of his mind. And then you know that players like Showmaker, players like Noguri can utilize that in order to get the victory. That is why this Damwon team is so scary.
You know, I'm looking at the top 10 of the MVPs, and I'm just sitting here wondering, how is it even possible for a support to get on here?
You haven't had, ever since Tucson, who almost managed to get it a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
it really hasn't been the case.
Near impossible.
Sandbox, they're done for this season. He ain't catching up. Is Summit keen also? Now that Gen G weren't able to take that victory, he's certainly not challenging, and Showmaker is on Canyon's team. So Canyon is going to secure it. That is a guaranteed first place. for Canyon here on the MVP rankings and just shows how important he is for Damwon's victories.
Yeah, it really does. And so he earned it. So Jungle,
Do you know how he earned it as well? This is one thing you're going to like.
what?
His Karthus play.
That is true.
Yeah. He found his
Karthus,
R button.
he's
He
been-
harvested some dark stuff.
He has disappeared
He has.
recently, even in solo queue. They don't ban him, they don't pick him. All that much, or at least not as much as before.
That's because LS is too busy picking Pantheon and losing.
So I was gone for a month for TFT, I came back, and then now Pantheon's here,
Yeah.
and he's taking everyone's LP.
You gotta come back and start pressing your R button, dude. That's what you gotta do.
Please buff Pantheon.
Yes. Yes. A few different ways that you could do so as well. LS has retweeted a few different options as far as
Keegan.
the buffs to do.
Yeah, the highest rated Pantheon player in the world. Multi-time challenger over several seasons.
Yep.
Pantheon only player.
Yeah, and he does have some pretty good ideas as far as how to buff Pantheon and make him feel a bit better because a little bit lackluster. I like the mechanics of his abilities. Don't quite like the numbers.
Yeah, the numbers are awful. The art team, fantastic
Yeah.
job. Let's get to the end.
Let's do it. Take it away, Jason.
Thank you very much, guys. This is
다몬게이밍의 너구리 선수
Translation,
캐년 선수
and
모실게요.
we'll be hearing from Nuguri
안녕하세요.
and Canyon from Damwon Gaming.
자, 팀 승리 정말 축하드리고요. 또
Congratulations
너구리
on the
선수는
win,
MVP도
and
한
especially
90일
Nuguri.
만이에요. 오늘 경기 소감
Welcome back
들어볼게요.
to the MVP interview after 50 days.
네, 저희가 이기고
Well, we won today,
저희가 2등은 거의 제가
so
거의
we are secured
확정이고 이제
on the second place,
하나가
and
이제
we'll have to wait and
잡으면
see
1등을
whether
저희가
Hana
할
can
수 있는
take down
기회였는데
Griffin
이겨서
to
또
make it to the
MVP도
finals.
정말 오랜만에
And
받으니까
it's true that I got the MVP in the middle of a while, so it feels really nice.
선수 MVP 받아냈습니다. 그리고 캐니언 선수도 승리
Canyon,
소감 들어볼게요.
congratulations on the win.
1세트 무난하게
Game number 1 was really okay, but we made a lot of mistakes in game number 2, so I thought that we have to kind of come back for game number 3, and we actually did, so it feels really nice.
정말 깜짝 카드를 들고
Speaking of game number 2, Genji was trying a lot of new
패배한 이유에
things.
대해서 어떤 부분
What
피드백했는지
went
궁금해요,
wrong
캐니언 선수.
in game number 2 for Damwon?
픽이 뭐야? 아,
네.
뭐야? 아, 뽀삐
So Bobby,
라인전 힘들다고 해서
well, he said the laning phase is really
그냥
hard.
아무 생각 없었어.
Well, but I had nothing,
너-
no big thought in my
너구리
mind
선수는
about
혹시
that.
끝나고 피드백 어떤 부분 하셨나요?
Then what kind of feedback
네.
did you guys have after game
원래
number
라인전
2?
힘들지 않았는데
Well, the laning phase was not
다이브단에 죽어가지고
hard, but we got
썸바다 그 다음에
turret dive,
힘들어서
so it got really
그 부분은
hard.
정정이 필요할
So
것
I
같아요.
need you to be clear on that, Canyon.
네, 캐니언 선수 너구리 선수를 단 한 번도 쳐다보지
Canyon,
않으셨습니다.
giving them eye contact to Nuguri.
좀 봐주세요.
아,
네, 이렇게 2세트는 아쉬운 부분이
So
있었지만
game number 2 didn't go quite well, but game number 1 and 3 was really
오늘
awesome.
뱀픽이 뭐
So let's go back to the first game.
1세트 뱀픽 라이즈와 아트록스가
So we had Ryze and Aatrox.
혹시 위치에
So
대해서 고민을 좀
were you guys
하셨나요?
still concerning which
일단
lane to
뽑아놓고
put its champions?
좀 좋은 상성대로 가자라고
So we just wanted to
했고요.
pick the
그다음에
champions
이제
first
판에 나오는
and
거
kind of
보고
rotate it
맞춰서 갔던 것
according to the
네,
matchups
탑 라이즈
in lanes.
잡아보니까 어떠신가요?
How was top
오랜만에
Rise?
하니까 제가 옛날에 라이즈 되게 좋아했는데 리메이크
I really
때도
liked Rise before,
오랜만에
even
하니까
before the remake.
재밌더라고요.
It was really
그렇게
fun
재밌게
playing it.
플레이를 해주셨는데
again.
또 초반템 마나 보석 3개가 화제였어요.
You went for
이게
3 mana
어떤
crystals in the
아이디어였나요?
very early phase.
자, 라이즈를 하면은 제가
When you're
거의
playing
대천사랑
I
로아를
really go
이제
for the
둘다 가는 템트를
mana
하는데
items,
이제 그렇게
double.
마나 수정을 초반에 3개
So,
사면은 이제
If I buy
집에 만약에
triple mana
갔을 때 돈 되는
crystals,
대로 뭐 카탈
you
사도
know,
되고
well,
레몬
you
사도
can
되고
build up
RPG
to
사도 되고
catalyst
돈 되는 대로 할수 있으니까
or
일단 세
tiers.
개 일단
So
사놓고
I just
나중에
you know,
돈 되는 애
buy
달라고 샀던 것 같아요.
mana crystals
정말
first and just
아이디어까지
build up according to my
환상적이었습니다.
budget.
자, 1세트 딜량 1위에 오르기도 했는데
And you did the most
MVP
damage in
호칭
game
장면이
number
있었죠.
1.
1대4
And there was
더블킬
this
장면
highlight
너무
or super
순식간이라서
play where you
저희가
just
느린 화면으로
well
준비했습니다.
got your
만나보시죠.
MVP by your hand with your hands.
자, 침착한 스킬샷이 정말 인상적이었는데 설명 좀
So we have this
부탁드려요.
slow motion for
상황
this.
전에 어떤
super play over here.
이제 산에 블루가 나왔는데
Well, this was actually after a team fight.
시야가 있었거든요. 이제 약간
And I knew that they had the
아무
Scalded
생각 없이
Crabs,
홀리드
but I just wanted
산에
to get
오더라고요.
that
솔직히
blue
여기서
buff.
근데 다 잡을 줄
And I
모르고
could
그냥
see
아,
the
이거
Genji
큰일
players
났다.
coming
약간
to
이
get
생각하고
me, so I
있었는데
thought I was
카이사
in a
너무
trouble.
밑에
But
그냥
Kaisa didn't have her
SW
ultimate,
그
so
해가지고 잡았던 것 같아요.
QW and E and Q, and I got her down.
넥서스까지 그냥 바로
And after that big
끝내버리는
win,
그런
you
상황이
guys
나왔습니다.
actually
그리고
broke down the
3세트
Genji's
캐니언
nexus.
선수의
And game number
사일러스가
3,
등장을 했습니다.
Canyon
1, 2세트
Silas
상대가
was on the
활용을 하기도
rift.
했는데 풀리는 순간
So
가져와야
Peanut was
된다고
playing Silas for game number 1 and 2.
그냥 세주안이를 뽑으니까 계속 사이를 가져가서
Well, when we
이번엔
picked Sejuani,
제가
Genji
사이드하고
keep
상대
taking away
세주를
Silas.
약간
So this time we
유도해야겠다고
wanted to
생각했어요.
make it happen the opposite way.
먹혔습니다. 초반에 경기가 다 기울었었던
Well, actually,
상태였는데요. 이 장면이
well,
정말 큰
after
역할을
the early
했습니다.
bottom
보통
fight, the
긴장면
game was
만나볼게요.
over. So we have this replay over
세주
here.
동선을 알고 계셨었는데
Did you know
네.
Sejuani jungle pass?
세주안이가 수정소를 터뜨린 거 보여가지고
Oh,
버텀이겠다
because
생각하고
Sejuani
서버라고
got the
했는데
vision with the
어깨
objectives
버텀을 잘
in the jungle.
물어가지고
I knew where she was,
잘
so
이긴 것 같아요.
we were really good at that fight as well, so we won that.
떨어졌었어요.
Well, you were down to 2 HP at that moment.
살 거라고 보셨나요?
Did you think you were gonna survive?
전 그런 거 딱히 생각 안 하고
I didn't
그냥
really think something like
스킬만
that.
그냥
I
할
was
수 있는
just doing my
최대한
best
한
to
것 같아요.
dodging the skills.
상대 팀으로 두 번이나 또 잡아내는 명장면을 탄생시켰습니다. 캐년 선수
캐년.
MVP에 그렇게
So,
관심이 없다더니
You said you're not interested in
올랐습니다.
MVP, but you are the winner of the summer split.
쇼메이커 선수가
And Showmaker in the previous interview, he's expecting you to share your prize money.
아,
어떻게 마음의 준비하고 계신가요?
Are you gonna
소량
really do that?
정도.
Just a little bit, you know? Just a bit.
네, 얼마를 줄지 예상이 잘 안 되는데
I'm a bit
혹시
curious how much that would
선수만
be.
주면 다른
But
팀원들 옆에 너구리 선수도
Only giving it to Showmaker
섭섭하잖아요.
wouldn't be a nice
5분의
choice
1
for
할
the
생각은
other
없으시나요?
players.
네, 미드 정글이 좀 이제
Well, you
호흡이
know,
잘 맞아야 되기 때문에
It's really
미드만
important to have a good synergy with mid and jungle
단호하게
duos.
선전하셨습니다.
So
너구리 선수
only
받아들이셔야 할 것
Showmaker.
같고요. 네, 그리고 지난번에 아프리카의 기인
And
선수가
also, in the
젠지를
previous interview
잡아주면
with
나중에
Kiin,
은혜를 보답하겠다 이런
he
얘기를
said
했었어요.
if you guys take down
너구리
Genji,
선수
he's
혹시
gonna
바라는
make
점
it up to
있으신가요,
Damwon
기인
Gaming.
선수에게?
Is there any request for
바라는
Kiin?
점이요?
네.
다음 시즌에 반대 상황 되면
When
아프리카도
the
꼭
opposite thing
잡아주시기
happens in the next split, I hope Africa can take down the opponents that we
보도록
want.
하겠습니다. 혹시 이 얘기해도 될까요? 아까는 친추 좀 받아달라고.
친추요?
And also,
네.
Kiin wants him to accept your his
아,
friend
캐년
request.
선수의 얘기였나요?
친추 좀 걸어주세요.
Ah, Cannon wants Kiin to
알겠습니다.
send
기인
him a
선수가
friend
꼭
request.
들어주시지 않을까 그런 생각을 합니다. 자, 이렇게 정규 스플릿 마지막
So
경기
this
승리로
was the
장식을
final
했고
match for Tama Gaming for the regular
1위까지 바라볼
split.
수 있게
And
됐습니다.
you guys
다음
have
경기
the
하나생명이
chance to make it
이긴다면
into the
결승
first place
직행을 하게
as
되는데요.
well if
너구리 선수
Hana
하나생명
Life takes down
또
Griffin.
한번 외쳐주실까요?
Any message for their Hana Life players?
믿고 있습니다. 파이팅!
I'm trusting you guys, Hana
또
Life
이겨주세요.
fighting. Please win.
네, 기대해 보도록 하겠습니다. 또 팬분들 여기 마지막 경기 LCK
And
서머
For the fans
정규
who
스플릿
have
마지막
been
경기
coming to the
지켜주셨는데요.
low
팬분들께
park to
한
support
말씀
Taman
부탁드릴게요.
Gaming players for the
마지막까지
final
항상
match. Any message for them?
정말 감사하고
Thank you
이번에
for supporting us
스포츠
to the
스테이션이
last
가는데 좋은 성적 꼭 낼 수 있도록
series,
열심히 하겠습니다.
and we made it to the
감사합니다.
playoffs. So we will do our best to pick up great results.
네, 캐니언 선수도
포스트 시즌
So we are in the
질주했는데
postseason.
계속 폼 유지하면서 올려가지고
I will do our best to remain our current form
올라가도록 하겠습니다.
and
감사합니다.
keep rolling on.
네. 응원해야겠네요. 고생 많으셨고요.
Hana
오늘
Life fan
인터뷰
in the audience.
감사합니다.
And thank you very much for this
수고하셨습니다.
interview. This will be the end of
네,
the
너구리
interview with
선수,
Gregory
캐니언 선수
Canyon from
함께했습니다.
Taman Gaming, and I'm going to pass it back to our casters. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jisun. As per usual, that is going to bring us to the end of our first series. Still more LCK to close out the summer season. We have to say goodbye to Gen G, though, unfortunately. This is the last time that we're going to see them because they're unable to qualify for the World's Gauntlet. The team that is so good at gauntlets didn't make it. And this season we had 2 opportunities.
GG.
It's really sad. Gen G were unable to make playoffs, so no championship points, and that means that Kingzone, of course, locked in to the World's Gauntlet, and Griffin potentially able to lock themselves in to the World Championships by taking down Hanwha Life. Hanwha, though, have the opportunity to get out of relegation by winning. This is a huge one. Both, like, sometimes you get to the point at the end of a season, we've been seeing it. Elsewhere in the world, some crazy games in the LEC because the games don't necessarily mean anything. We've had meaningful games every single time here in the LCK. So the players unable to have any fun because there's already still so much on the line, and that counts for the final match as well. Griffin wanting to confirm Worlds, Hanwha wanting to confirm no relegation by both of these teams getting victories, and Damwon are going to be rooting for Hanwha Life as well because Damwon will gain first place if they are able, if Hanwha Life are able to take down Griffin. It is some crazy stuff, guys. But Griffin have been in fantastic form, and this is the last time we'll get a look before those playoffs as well. And Griffin at Worlds is potentially a guarantee. Guys, we'll find out in our final match of summer coming up after the break.
You take me higher when I feel low, make my world brighter when I'm alone. I keep on rolling, oh, with your fuel. You're like my gasoline that makes my dream come true. 'Cause this is the beginning. Together we'll be winning. Make my soul soar. Like the wind, gotta fly again to wave you. You always taught me loving without all the bling. You're all I need. I think we fell in love. I keep on rolling, oh, with your fuel. You're like my gasoline that makes my dream come true.
Have you ever wondered how it feels when everybody does what you say? Have you ever wondered what it's like to rule the world for a day? I'll fight until